Recommendations for study English. Hello, my name is Jesus Mosqueda, and I will give you some recommendations to start study this language if you are just starting out. Number one, structures. Mainly to me at the beginning, I will be have like to be taught all structures since considerably the formulas of the grammatical times. It is easier to locate the general rules how things are done. Number two, search for words. Looking for a new words you don't in the English language. One of the things that helps me learn a new words is written in Spanish, the translation of the what that word means. For example, balón. Number three, search parsers. That can also include parsers that are common that cannot separate words because you will understand something else. For example, you are welcome, de nada. Making this list can help you find those parsers that can mean something else. For example, this parse could be able to understand. You are welcome. Tú eres bienvenido. Right? Number four, English games. Using an app or using games in English can help you to improve a lot, because if you do it constantly for at least 10 minutes of your day or more, you can have a better understanding. Personally, I use Duolingo, and honestly, I use it to practice and not to learn. Although I can be used to, right? Number five, application of speaking. To improve the pronunciation, there are applications that can help you to do pronouncing things. Well, here personally, I can recommend the application of Cake, since it is a light reading that you are reading in English by parts. And as you practice, you say things in the right tone and accent. Number six, constancy. Constancy. This is where many give up and where many leave the language for lost. I use practice with Duolingo, and I do some Cake application. I make the use of these two tools daily to not lose pace of reading of when it comes to understanding things. This is the minimum to have a solid word base when it comes to progress. This measure I apply on Git heavy days of work. It is a personal commitment to add. Let's make a choice of each as your text yourself, and do not stop learning and practice. Other option is to make a practice all of the grammatical structures, a sentence for each structure. You can help you not forget how is it. And here the problem is to give a time to the learning. You can work with what you already have. You can look for more tools. Number seven, mark on the calendar. A tip: to be constantly with oneself. I, for example, marked the days of the calendar which I practice at least 10 minutes. This measure has been this measure has served me not get lost in immersion my learning and my constancy. I glow ready if you work it a little more, I will master the themselves a little more. Number 8. Watching series and movies. Uh, Here are several levels. I divided them into 3 to make the structure. You need to have a broad knowledge of words and structures to be able to understand why things are very being said. To make this step, I think is it necessary to make the automation strategy. For example, number 1, watching series or movies with English subtitles is one of the simplest steps to start generally. I generally have it, and with it a span of time you can to go another level. Level 2. This level consists of you having the audio in English with the subtitles in Spanish. Here is the opposite of the AV. This level can help you use develop the air and have a more intuitive learning according to what you heard and see translated. The level 3, here the audio is in English without subtitles. For this level, you will need to have a broad vocabulary, so there are no dubs. Of course, if you take a game to exist, they will be a minimal, really. And if you don't have a broad vocabulary, it's very likely that you won't make a much progress. If you starting playing level 3, you see here. Number 9, listen to music. Here it is also necessary to have knowledge of the words, so that isn't so lost one at a time of winding to understand the only thing that improves when listening to music. One is the pronunciation. Learning the way the pronunciation things can help to have a better development in the speech part. And I'll talk a little experience. Will be needed here to understand things. This point can become relaxing and beneficial as you will be adapting to air. And finally, number 10, fin exercise. Nowadays, there are many pages for the able to do exercise as practice. Is it advisable to look for exercise where you feel that you have no practice enough in a topic? For example, you can search for the term of continuous. No, for example, you can search for the term of continuous past in the browser and look for exercise in English. There are endless platforms that can you help review the themselves. However, here is it advisable to have the knowledge basis of the structures, since you practice needed to know if the site is really in what is programmed, since not all the cities are correct. And finally, after review these points, 10 points. The only thing I could add is that all these points for me are the most important to be able to understand the language. Finally, they are the ones that have given me results. A tip, a tip is also to be more disciplined, and I have a little more. Will you a little more will of your own? Remember, the point of the making, the calendar, the days you study can help you in the motivation to keep progressing and not giving up. It's all. Thank you. See you later.